Hey! The past 2 weeks have been, let's just say, rough is an understatement. Paris Hilton followed me. I had an auction. I got into an art scandal. It's just too much. It's just too much these past few weeks. So, we out here. We back. I'll try and film the podcast because that has been long overdue. Let me get at least one episode at least for you guys. Okay? Let me just get that one thing and maybe I'll freaking dip. Yo, it's Gio. Welcome back to my channel. I miss saying that. I also miss filming. I miss interacting with you guys. Look at me acting like I have 1 million subscribers. But yeah, we're almost at 100 subscribers. So gotta get that networking done, okay? Those 89 people of you here, let's double up. Let's double up, okay? Let's double up. For some reason, my most viewed video on my channel is the tier ranking video I made, which is still kind of popping. So I figured for my comeback video, why not give the audience what they want? So today we are gonna be tier ranking thriller book tropes. Now, I'm an avid thriller book reader. I've got into thrillers before I got into horror, and so I'd say I'm kind of well versed in this genre. Just a disclaimer, this is just my opinions based on what I've read. We're also mixing some thriller subgenres here, you know, just overall mixing and tier ranking the overall thriller genre, because thriller is such a complex genre. There's so many subgenres like horror too. This doesn't involve any slasher because I consider slasher as horror. So let's get into the rankings. Okay, so first let's start at the bottom of the list, which is Please Stop. You know, we've seen this enough. Please, just please stop. You know, please stop. Authors, if you thought of this trope and would want to apply it on your future novels, just stop. No, just stop. We don't want it. Next, higher up on the category is not my thing. I see some people liking this trope, but for me, not my thing, and I ain't gonna shame them for that. The third category is, yeah, sure, whatever. If I read this on a book, I'd say, yeah, sure, whatever. Sign me up. I don't feel good about this trope. Yeah, sure, whatever. Then the next one is acceptable. We love to see it in a thriller. Please do more of this. It's so underrated. This thriller trope needs to be at least in 2 out of 5 thriller books that I read, okay? And the last ranking, which is the highest rank, is This Gets Me Going. If this trope is in this category, I'll be like flying through the book, you know, because most thrillers are like page turners, you know, you just want to know how it ends. So if this trope lands on here, you best believe I'm gonna eat that book up. So let's get into our first trope. Our first trope is what I call NAU. NAU means that the main character messes up and for some reason ends up being kidnapped by the antagonist, by the killer, or just the antagonist. I'm gonna put this on Please Stop, bitch. I mean, yeah, please stop. If I were the main character, I would not be ending up on a killer's lair, okay? Nuh-uh, not me. I might be dumb, I might have 3 brain cells, but you best believe you won't catch me on a killer's lair. You won't catch me on his dungeon, okay? So please stop. As a main character, for you to be that main character You must be so dumb to land in a killer's lair, okay? The fact that the author granted you the role of a protagonist and for you to end up on a killer's lair, bitch. Next trope that I read on thrillers are blackmail, you know. For me, I'd say not my thing. I get why some people would like this. If I were blackmailed to do something, I'd be hella scared because the skeletons in my closet.
Ooh, it's got hot. I gotta get out of here.
Blackmail, not my thing, but I get why people like it on their thrillers. So next is detective's point of view. Now, hear me out. I read a book called The Preserve on my Stan Twitter Picks My Horror TBR. You can check that somewhere on the cards. And I kind of hated it because the main protagonist is a detective, okay? And the point of view, trash. The book, kind of trash. But, I read this book called The Resurrectionist on my most disturbing books that I've read. For some reason, I like that. Some detective point of view work for me, but some don't. Maybe it just depends on the overall story. Maybe it just depends on my mood that day, but for a detective point of view, I'd have to put this on. Yeah, sure, whatever, I'll take it. If the author feeds it to me, yeah, I'll take it. Next trope is fake diary entries. When I find out that it's fake, I get hella pissed. But for some reason, this trope freaking gets me, dude. So I'd have to put this on acceptable. It's been done before. It has been done a lot of times. A lot of thriller books use this trope for a big twist, but for some reason this freaking gets me. However, comma, I've recently read this book that has diary entries, and I'll be like, this is sus. This bitch who's writing diary is freaking sus. And I freaking called it. It's a fake diary entry. Big brain move. Because as what I've said, it's been done in the past, but past me would be like, freaking, maybe I'm gonna put this down on not my thing. Next is I'm a Survivor. By the way, can we talk about that song for a second? Because I still don't know how to sing that song. I'll just be singing I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor. Anyways, so I'm a survivor. So this trope is the action thrillers. Thrillers like No Exit, thrillers like I Shot. Those are the best action thrillers. These are the thrillers that has no twist, but like action throughout of the novel, and you just fly through. It just reads like a freaking movie. So bitch, this gets me going, bitch. This makes my heart pound. These are the types of thrillers that I freaking want. If you have some recommendations on action thrillers, comment them down below, because I love to freaking read books like No Exit. Would love to see it, would love to read it. These types of books cure my reading slump. Kind of like what I did for the reading vintage romance books. While I was reading that, I was reading I Shot because those books made me not want to read anymore. That might be an overreaction, but really those books made me hate reading. So I picked up I Shot because I freaking know Taylor freaking Adams, my bitch, Taylor freaking Adams would come through, would pull through skirt with his novel, and bitch, I was impressed. I Shot, literally, I keep shouting this out, I Shot deserved as much love as No Exit had.
And that's on period.
Next trope is the isolated setting. Yeah, acceptable. I take it, but it might be a hit or miss for me if the author misses the mark, if the author doesn't do the atmosphere well, you know. There are some books that the atmosphere or the setting itself is a character, and if the author doesn't do that, if the author just mentions, yeah, they're in this forest, yeah, they're in this secluded mansion, thinking next. So examples for isolated setting, I think Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, where the house itself was a character. It is a freaking character. And I say Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. So yeah, next thriller trope is Let Me Peep, okay? Where the main character takes it upon herself or himself to be the good detective and investigates the murder. So, hence the title, Let Me Peep. Bitch, please stop. Please freaking stop. If you, yes you, watching right now, heard that there's a murder in your school, would you freaking investigate the murder? For me, no. I'm too occupied. Of course, I'd feel sad if I know that person. Of course, I feel sad if I'm friends with that person, but would you freaking investigate the murder, bitch? I ain't have time to investigate a freaking murder on some bitch I don't know, on some bitch in my class. Nah, bro, please stop. Thriller authors, please stop with Let Me Peep trope, okay? The next trope I have, this ties in with the Let Me Peep, is the library research. Be honest, how often do you go to the library? In your school time, okay? Not like borrowing books, because I know America has libraries where you could borrow books. Personally, we don't have that here. Be honest in the comments. When you were at school, did you really research in the library? Because Google is there. If you were like one of that quirky girls who just does the research on books, props on you. Props on you. But like, bitch, there's freaking Google. Even if you don't know Google for some reason, there's Yahoo Answers. There's like Bing, okay? Freaking Bing, for God's sake. Freaking like Encarta, for God's sake. Encarta, bitch. Encarta. Are you really relying your research on books? On the library? On the librarian? I don't think so. So for library research, please stop. I've encountered this countless times. Freaking countless times. On thriller books. And they be like researching the libraries through old newspapers. Do you really store old newspapers? Do the library really store newspapers every freaking day? I think everything is digitalized nowadays, so library research, please stop. Please stop. So let's move on to the next trope, which is the I married a psycho. And this trope is like the domestic thriller. Personally, I freaking love those. That's my thing. Imagine. Oh, I'm gonna put this on This Gets Me Going. One of my favorite thriller books of all time is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. That's so freaking good. There isn't any twist on it, but the mind games between the husband and wife, chef's freaking kiss. It's so good. It's so freaking good. So I married a psycho. This gets me going. The next trope is the missing trope. Not my thing. Not my freaking thing. I don't think I've read enough of this, so maybe I'd say yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever. Give it to me if you have some recommendations about missing main characters, comment them down below. The next trope is breaking the fourth wall, and this also includes mixed media like night film. So breaking the fourth wall, yeah, acceptable. Here's the thing. So mixed media, the first author that did this, props to you, you're a genius, but I think that this trope gets overplayed now a lot. So bitches be like just including anything just for it to market as mixed media. I've read a book called, I believe, Playlist for the Dead, which the media is just songs, bitch. Freaking songs. If you cannot incorporate any media besides songs in your book, don't market it as mixed media. But I've read a freaking thriller book that literally breaks the fourth wall, and it's not like talking to the reader. It ain't like that. Once you discover the fourth wall gig that the author made, it's so epic. People might consider it dumb, but for me, I was like, bitch, you did that. Miss, because it's a female author. Miss, you freaking did that. And props to you. So, yeah, breaking the fourth wall, acceptable. Would like to see it, actually. Next is the multiple point of view thrillers. Now, this might be a hit or miss for me because I tend to get confused when there's like a lot of characters in the story and lots of point of views you're trying to follow. One example I have is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. That's why I didn't read The Guest List by Lucy Foley, because The Hunting Party ain't it for me. There's like lots of point of views. However, again, Chunmar specializes in this. His books, The One, The Passengers, let's not talk about the third book that he has, the current book that he has right now. It's freaking trash, and I'm so enraged that I pushed through that freaking book. I should have DNF'd it, but I was like, let me push through this because I love Gabby from Gabby Reads. I would like to participate on her live show, but freaking wasted my freaking time. Let's not get into that because it isn't the time. However, multiple point of view, when done right, this might be good. For example, Confessions by Kane Minato, 5 stars. Multiple point of view, acceptable. Would like to see it. The next trope is one of us is an imposter. Books like, again, The Hunting Party, The Guest List, some Agatha Christie, which personally I haven't read any of her books, but don't fret, I'm gonna be reading something about pigs in the title by her. One of us is an imposter, not my thing, but I get why some people like this. Again, following multiple point of views, would you really like that? Well, if there's drama, sign me up. So maybe yeah, sure, whatever. So the next trope is, you got me feeling like a psycho, you got me feeling like a psycho. I label it like that because for some reason that song is stuck in my freaking head. So this trope is for psychological books, and yeah, this gets me going. Obvious psychological books, sign me up. Next trope is running from past. Please stop. Oh well, not my thing, not my freaking thing. Running from past tropes. A perfect example for this, I think, is Lie to Me by Claire McIntosh. And I like that book, but running away from past, it's not my thing. But as I said, I get why some people would like this. And they're thrillers. Next is... what the fuck is this? Huh? Oh! I'd be like, what? Einstein is shook. What the frick is this trope? And I'm the one who freaking made these things. Einstein is shook is science thrillers. So thrillers that involve technology, thrillers that involve AIs like the Preacher, thrillers that involve robots, I think. Not aliens, because that might be labeled as horror. So Einstein is shook. What was I thinking naming this? Einstein is freaking shook. I put this on acceptable, would like to see it. One of my favorite thrillers is the one which involves a dating app that matches your DNA with your significant other, which is like a Black Mirror episode. The Passengers 2 by John Mars. I like that. So yeah, would like to see it. Einstein is shook. If Einstein is alive and he reads this book, he'd be like, bitch, I discovered gravity, and this bitch just be like writing DNA matches. He'd be shook. Okay, he'd be shooketh if he reads these books. So acceptable. Would like to see it on books. Next trope is serial killer. Bitch, this gets me going. We love a serial killer who either A, leaves clues and toys with the police. Would love to see it. Or B, is just a serial killer who's like random. Now, I'm particular with my serial killer, okay? Because I don't want a freaking serial killer who's like a freaking genius. I don't want that. I want him to be human. I want him to be flawed. I just don't want him to be some extraordinary person who has an IQ of like 1 million. So serial killer, this gets me going, but I have a particular serial killer taste. If you cut that footage out and send it to someone, like, don't send this to someone. Next is the Thriller Hub, and this involves thrillers with lots of sex scenes. I personally welcome a sex scene as a single man. We like to see some action because we lack that in that department. We lack that life, that hub life. Well, this might be too much. This might be too much. I'm like oversharing things with y'all. So Thriller Hub, we like to see it in moderation. But if your thriller books has just sex scenes on every other chapters, bitch, you horny AF. Go to P-Hub and just release it. Don't release it on your books. So Thriller Hub, yeah, sure, whatever. If done right, it could be a good thing. If it's overly descriptive and overly displayed throughout the book, 1 star. Next is this trope. She be crazy. Tropes like DID that uses mental illness as an excuse that they're killing people. Please stop. I ain't gonna say okay back then, but the first few authors that did this, it was groundbreaking. I've experienced Psycho in a book format before I've known about the twist, before I've known that there was even a movie. So I was shocked. But authors really be doing this just for an excuse. And besides, DID people doesn't kill People with mental illnesses doesn't just wake up one day, picks up a knife, and kill. Okay? So let's destigmatize that. Next is the stalker trope, which is, would like to see it. This gets me going. We love a good stalker story. We love a good peeping on the windows. We love a good social media stalking. You watching right now, admit it. You've stalked either your ex, your crush, your friend on social media. So I'm not saying you're a stalker. What I mean is we love to see ourselves on our villains. We love stalking. We love social media stalking. Unless we accidentally like a post. If you've accidentally liked an old post, and what's worse is like that post was like years back, I'm praying for your soul. I'm praying that you still have your dignity right now. But personally, if that happens to me, I would like pray that I get abducted by Joe Goldberg. And please, Joe, please put me on a glass box, feed me, and leave me here, so that my crush or my friend or my relative wouldn't see me again. Next trope is the most iconic, most used gif and most used scene in the history of a show is Madison Montgomery's "Surprise, bitch, I bet you..." I can't even say it. Let's just play the clip, okay?
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Tropes like this are like when we, as the reader, thinks that this person is dead, but again, surprise, bitch, they alive. This happened on one of my fave books. Personally, I was shook by the twist, but this trope has been overplayed in lots of thrillers, especially Pretty Little Liars. How many bodies are you gonna bring back? Like, Jesus is freaking shook that you're like resurrecting lots of dead people. That's Jesus' job, okay? Not you, Marlene King, the writer of Pretty Little Liars. So, surprise bitch trope, not my thing. I accept it from time to time, but if for some reason I read this trope in 2 of my thriller books, please stop. Okay, the next trope is the unconvinced authority. So this trope is like when you're reporting something to the police and they don't believe you. We all know police, they're trash, but when they don't believe you. And this is also when teenagers or like kids tell their parents something that this happened and their parents don't believe them. Please stop. Please stop. Your parents should believe you. If you say that there's a killer terrorizing you, if you say that a stalker is freaking terrorizing you, if you report something to the freaking police, the police should believe you. We all know they trash, but like, they could be like less trash, you know? So, unconvinced authorities, please stop. Okay, please freaking stop. Next is the unreliable narrator trope. Acceptable, because I've read a book that is marketed. I'm gonna just say the book, okay? I'm gonna just say the name of the book, which is called Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. And it's marketed as, you can't trust me because I lie. If you're an unreliable narrator, most of your point of view are pointless. Okay? I like unreliable narrator books if you don't market it as that. Simple as that. Because that might be a groundbreaking twist. That changes the game. Okay, if you say you're unreliable from the start head on, I'd be like, bitch, why am I even reading this if you're just spitting out lies? The next is Vengeance, and this is from the movie I Spit on Your Grave, which is a freaking good movie, a freaking good franchise if I may add. So Vengeance, this gets me going. We love a good revenge story. We love a good bullied becomes a bully. Love to see it. Next trope is the wait what trope, which is where thrillers has a freaking genius twist that might suspend your belief on reality. The twist might be a paranormal subject. When twists like this happen, immediately I'd be like 5-star. You may have a boring plot, but if there's an epic freaking plot twist, I'ma bump up the star. I'ma bump up my rating. Okay, so wait what trope? This gets me going. And the last trope that we have, and I'd say the most overused trope on thriller books, are like why I did it. When the killer goes on a long tangent explaining why I did it, why I freaking killed these bitches. That sounded so freaking wrong. Imagine seeing clips of me without any context. Anyway, why I did it trope, please stop. Please freaking stop. Just stop. Just shh. 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 Stop. 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 Okay, stop. I believe these are the thriller tropes. Let me know down below if you have some more thriller tropes that would like to add. Comment them down below in the comments. I'm gonna respond. I love responding to comments. And as for the giveaway, because I'll be giving away a HelloFresh gift card, but this is the HelloFresh gift card. I personally can't use this here in the Philippines, so this doesn't have any use to me. And all you have to do is follow my art account, because I love clout. Follow my art account, and I think I'm gonna be making a post about a giveaway soon. Just comment done there. Bonus points if you tag your friends, if you repost it on your stories. And I'm not freaking sure if this is still valid, because it says here claim within 30 days, and I've ordered this graphic novel last month and it came with a HelloFresh kit. Just follow my art account, comment on the giveaway post, and repost it, tag your friends, and I think that's it. So I hope you like this video. I'm gonna be freaking recording the podcast now, because we got a cute little microphone and it's Razer. It's freaking bougie. I bought this mic just for you guys. I bought this bougie ass mic because we had couple mics in the past that shitty quality. So hold on. Remember this? Remember this mic? We ain't using that anymore. And I've also bought a new camera mic, and now we have another mic. So if the audio quality is still trash, don't afraid to call me out in the comments, okay? Like this video, comment for engagement, comment any thriller tropes that you've experienced in the past that you would like to freaking stop, or thriller tropes that gets you going. So yeah, this is it. Bye.